Hi, my name is Pam, and I've been living with HIV for 37 years, diagnosed in 1986. Right now, I live in Long Island, out east on the Suffolk end. And a little bit about my journey. When I was first diagnosed, I was literally working in the corporate world in New York City and donating blood, which I used to do all the time. And this one time in 1986, I was sent in the mail a letter from the American Red Cross, which was unusual. I never got one from them, but it stated that they wanted me to come in because there was a finding within my blood work. So they wanted me to come in. Lo and behold, I go there. I remember the time is 1986, when really, when the words HIV and AIDS was literally a death sentence and was hitting the gay communities. I was brought into a room. The doctor comes in and basically says, I don't know how to tell you this, but when we screened your blood, they noticed that I had the HIV virus. And because they didn't know what to say, they sat me in a room watching a reel-to-reel and left me alone. Needless to say, I don't remember what I saw. I was numb. And when the film was over, they walked in, asked if I was okay, and I'm like, I don't know, and walked out the door. At that time, I felt lost. I wasn't sure what to do, where I was going. But the one thought that came to my mind was reaching out to my mother, which no matter who you reach out to, it's a difficult thing. I went to her because she was from the medical world. She was a nurse practitioner. And I called her, Colette. We had phone booths back then. And I told her what my findings were. My mother was saying, well, you know what? Why don't we get you tested again? Because at that time, HIV and hepatitis C were similar, and figured maybe it was a false reading. I had my head in the sand. I wasn't accepting of my diagnosis. I did not feel that in relationships that I would be worthy to have. I went through a period of being in relationships, not telling people, which down the line I later regretted and then felt shame about that. It wasn't until I had to make a decision. And the reason why I had to do that was because since I was never adherent to medications, I ran the gamut. There wasn't anything left for me. I ended up in the hospital, blood transfusions, thrush, and so many other things that it felt like I was going to die. And I had to make the decision at that point what I wanted to do. And I decided that I wanted to live. From that point on, I got connected with the right resources, the right medical teams, networking. I got all the help that I really needed and support. Because for the longest time, I didn't know where I could go to find individuals that I could relate to. But when I did, it made such a difference in the world. And I knew that I could have a life, and I was worthy of having a life. And so now what I do is I work with agencies and health organizations, and I have put my journey and my experience to good use. Biggest wonderful thing that happened to me was being able to become and be invited to be a spokesmodel with the HIV Stops With Me campaign, because it's given me a wonderful, larger platform to help that many more people.